Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have here Mr. Aiken from
Noguchi Memorial.
Noguchi Memorial Institute, and he's here to talk about vitamin D. And you're welcome, Mr. Aiken.
Thank you very much.
Please, we would like to know more about you and why you choose on this path.
Thank you very much. My name is Joseph Akins, and I'm doing my service at Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. That's University of Ghana Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. I'm a medical microbiologist and to be precise, a biologist. And I've worked a lot on this vitamin. I've worked at various hospitals as an intern and also doing other stuff too there. And I chose to talk about this topic because of the abnormal increase in vitamin D deficiency diseases in Africa and also around the world, and also lack of insight in the vitamins. And these are some of the things that boosted me to talk about these vitamins.
Thank you very much. I know a lot of people are asking what really is vitamin D. They are like asking, okay, so what really makes up vitamin D and why is vitamin D important?
Yeah, first of all, vitamin D, like other type of vitamins, is an important element or nutrient which is required in minimum amounts for the proper functioning and stability of our body. Vitamin D is important or plays a key role in calcium and phosphorus metabolism in our body. So that is something about vitamin D.
Okay, thank you very much. So, can you like tell us more on how we can get vitamin D, like the main source of vitamin D?
Yeah, our main source of vitamin D is from the sun, and that's our main source is derived from action of sunlight on steroids, which is present in our skin. And also, we can get it from oily fish, such as sardines, mackerel, and also we can get it from red meat, ultraviolet red mushrooms, and also fortified dairy products like milk. These are some of the sources of vitamin D.
Okay, thank you very much. So, we all know we get vitamin D from the sun today, and I would like to ask you a question. You said we get vitamin D solely from the sun, like the main source of vitamin D is from the sun. So, in what temperature, in what time is it proper to, get vitamin D from the sun? Because I'm sure when it's very extremely hot, you can't walk under it. So, what time can we actually?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, we can get vitamin D mostly in the morning. Then we get it mainly from the morning sun. Although we can get it most of the time during the day, but we mostly get it from the morning sun. It is very important, and we get it mostly from the morning sun. And also, we can get it from other food substances, as I stated. So that's fortified food like milk and others.
So I have a few questions here that I would like to ask you on behalf of my audience.
Okay.
So, can you briefly enlighten us on how they are formed in the body?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to talk about it with the help of
Your diagram.
this diagram. First of all, the sun is our life, and it's not only plants that benefit from the sun. We humans benefit a lot. And so when the sun shines, the a ray we call ultraviolet B radiation, it strikes on the skin. And when it strikes on the skin, there's a sterol in our skin called 7-dehydrocholesterol. This 7-dehydrocholesterol is being converted to cholecalciferol or vitamin D3 in our blood. Moving on, in our liver, there's an enzyme called 25-hydroxylase. These enzymes convert the cholecalciferol, which is vitamin D3, into what we call 25-hydroxycalciferol or calcifediol. And now let's shift our attention to peripheral sources of vitamin D. When we eat food from animal source like fish and liver, it enters our blood directly in the form of cholecalciferol. Also, when we eat food from plant source like mushrooms and other vegetables, it enters our liver directly in the form of ergocalciferol or vitamin D2. Now to continue with the diagram, and to continue with the diagram, we will focus on the kidney, and the kidney plays an important role. And in the kidney we have an enzyme called 1-alpha hydroxylase. This 1-alpha hydroxylase converts what we call the 25-hydroxycalciferol or calciferol into what we call calcitriol. The calcitriol is our main hormone, the more product that we need. And what are the functions of the calcitriol? The calcitriol makes sure that the level of calcium in our blood is adequate for us. And also it also plays an important role in making sure that phosphate level is also normal in our blood. So when this enzyme converts the 25-hydroxycalciferol into calcitriol, this is what the calcitriol make sure that our body does. And what are the main functions of the calcitriol? The calcitriol makes sure that there is increased absorption of calcium and phosphorus from the gastrointestinal tract, and also there is reabsorption of calcium and phosphorus from our kidney, and also it does what we call osteoblast. That is, it breaks down bones to produce this calcium and phosphorus also. It's quite funny that it has to break down certain bones to also produce more calcium for us when the need arises. And that's what happens. So what happens? What activates this enzyme to produce the calcitriol? This enzyme will react in the liver to produce the 25-hydroxycalciferol. Now, what activates this 1-alpha hydroxylase? The calcium does not directly activate this 1-alpha hydroxylase, meaning when there's low calcium, this low calcium doesn't mean that this enzyme will be activated automatically. Instead, low calcium means there is a gland at the back of our neck called parathyroid gland. It is small like rice, the size of a rice. It produces a hormone called parathyroid hormone. This parathyroid hormone, upon detecting that there is low calcium in your blood, will now come and activate 1-alpha hydroxylase enzyme to produce the calcitriol. You see, that's what it is. So when this enzyme is being activated to produce the calcitriol, there will be more. It will make sure that there's reabsorption in the kidney. It will break down certain bones, and also there will be absorption from the gastrointestinal tract. One important thing is that the phosphate directly activate the 1-alpha hydroxylase, unlike the calcium, which has to go through certain process. So the phosphate will directly activate the 1-alpha hydroxylase to produce the calcitriol to make sure that the phosphate level is normal for us. So that is the main metabolic process, or how we produce vitamin D in our system.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for the diagram. It helps a lot. So our next question is, as we now know what vitamin D is, how it is formed in the blood and its importance to humans, is there any problem associated with prolonged intake or overdose of the vitamin D?
Yes.
If yes, what are some of the health effects associated with overdose or overexposure towards the vitamin D?
Yes, thank you very much. As the saying goes, too much of everything is bad. And when you have a lot of vitamin D in your system, it is very bad and dangerous to our body. And it distracts our body's function. So, first of all, overexposure to vitamin D, we can also call it hypervitaminosis D, where there is enough vitamin D in your system that it results in growth problems in your system, and this is due to excess level or it reaching toxic level in our bloodstream. So let's look at what happens when you have too much of vitamin D in your system. First of all, there will be increase in calcium-based kidney stones. The people will start developing kidney stones and others, and also there will be breakdown of bones in what we call osteomalacia, and also there will be what we call abdominal mons, meaning that abdominal mons is a sharp pain that one will experience due to the contraction of the smooth muscle in our abdomen. it's mainly due to excess calcium in our blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one will feel a sharp pains in the abdomen because of excess calcium, and these are some of them. And also you have what we call psychic psychic groans, meaning you have due to excessive calcium in your blood, you experience what we call neuron depression. You experience neuron depression due to the excess calcium in your blood. These are some of the disadvantages on having excess calcium in your blood. Although calcium metabolism is important to us, but having excess is detrimental to our health. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So, as we already know, you have educated us on the importance of vitamin D. So, we would like to know for the deficiencies of vitamin D.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, when you talk about deficiency of vitamin D, it means diseases or diseases, mostly deficiency of vitamin D leads to certain diseases. So when you have less vitamin D in your system or low amount of vitamin D in your system, you will suffer from a lot of problems. First of all, let's talk about the common one, which is rickets. When you have rickets, it means your body is lacking certain calcium and to be precise vitamin D, and it mostly happens in younger children or infants. And this is what happens in the absence of calcium and phosphorus. In absence of calcium and phosphorus, the deposition of this inorganic